Welcome to the Solve and Graph Inequalities homework number. Okay, number one, greater than uh, to visualize the numbers. So if we have 4 in the middle, and we have 3 numbers to the left, 3, 2, and 1, and 3 numbers to the right, 5, 6, and 7. Well, what are the first 3 numbers that are greater than 4? If we look at it, if we start at 4, the first 3 numbers are 5, 6, and 7. So that's our answer. 5, 6, and 7. Okay, number 2. Again, list the first 3 integers that satisfy the inequality, this time where b is less than -2. So let's put -2 here in the middle. Greater than that is -1, 0, 1. And less than that, we have -5, -4, -3. Okay, so less than, this means to the left. So what are the first 3 numbers to the left of -2? Well, we have -3, -4, and -5, which is choice C. Okay, time for number 3. Once again, list the first 3 integers that satisfy this inequality. This time it says e is greater than or equal to -6. So let's just renumber this real quick. And now this is going to be a -6. So then this would be -7, 8, and 9. Okay, so now be careful. It says e, or the number that is greater than or equal to. Don't forget that. This means I have to include that number of -6. That has to be my first integer, since it says or equal to. So with that being said, it's going to be -6, then greater than that. So that means to the right, -5, and -4. That's choice B. -6, -5, and -4. Some people will make the mistake where they just say, oh, it's greater than. So -5 first, and then -4, and then -3. But remember, it says or equal to. All right, so now time for number 4. Number 4, we have to solve and graph this inequality. So let's see. And number 4, we have solve and graph the inequality -7 times v plus 3 is less than or equal to 28. So just like how with equations we have different ways of solving problems with parentheses, same thing with inequalities. Of course, we can distribute the -7, which means -7 times v, and then -7 times +3. Of course, we can do it that way. We also have another option, as I showed with equations, with parentheses. If you feel a little bit more advanced, what you can do instead of multiplying, which actually makes the numbers bigger, we can just divide both sides by that outside number. So either one will get you the same correct answer as long as you follow the steps. But since I know most people tend to distribute and multiply, they feel a little more comfortable, we'll just do that one. So multiply the outside number, -7 times v. So -7 times v is -7v. And then distribute once again. So multiply this -7, Notice how I put the arrow to the sign, so I know what I'm doing. -7 times a +3. Negative times a positive is a negative. 7 times 3 is 21. So now we're just going to bring down the other side. And now our inequality says -7v minus 21 is less than or equal to 28. Okay, we want to get v by itself, but we notice the term next to it. That constant says -21 or -21. So we do the opposite with a negative, which is a positive. To both sides, we're going to add 21. Haven't touched the -7v yet. We're going to bring it down. Again, don't make this mistake where you just say 7v, because look, right here it says negative. So bring down the negative, -7v. The 21s will cancel, giving us 0, so just do that. Bring down your inequality symbol, less than or equal to, and 28 plus 21 will give us 49. Now at this point, what operation do we see? Well, we see multiplication. It says -7v, which means -7 times v. So because we see multiplication, we get rid of it by doing the opposite operation of division. So divide both sides by that coefficient of -7. Remember, coefficient is just a math word. That means it's the number in front of the variable that multiplies it. Okay. Divided by sign. Let me just give you a different color. See how the negative is here in the bottom? -7, -7, we're dividing. Anytime that happens, you must flip the inequality symbol the opposite direction. So instead of less than or equal to, it will now say v is greater than or equal to. And we can just divide. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. So 49 divided by -7 gives us -7. Okay, and I will put that note again when dividing. This way we don't forget. Although it's in your notes, although we've seen it in other activities in practice, can never hurt just to see it again. So when dividing by a negative, also works for multiplying as well, multiplying or dividing, but here when dividing by a negative, and I'll specify in the denominator. Doesn't matter if the top number is a negative, but in the bottom, if it's in the denominator, we must flip the inequality symbol. All right, let's give it a nice bright color. Hope you remember. So when it's in the denominator, we have to flip. All right, so remember that. So we're almost done with number 4, but it's not that bad. Draw your number line. Keep it simple. Just in the middle, put your solution. Our solution was the number -7. One number greater than that, which is -6. One number less than that, which is -8. And your circle also goes over your solution of -7. All right. Only question, is it open or is it closed? For that, again, we remember our notes. If it's regular symbols, less than or greater than, open circle. If it's any of these two, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, has to be closed circle. As we see right here, it has the line right there. So that means greater than or equal to. This means a closed circle. And greater means to the right. That's where the larger numbers are. So our line and arrow point that way. Okay, so this answer choice V is greater than or equal to -7 is choice B. All right, number 5. Let's just put calculator on this side. Number 5 is a little bit similar. So this one says -8 is greater than or equal to x minus 15. So we have to also solve and graph this one. Same idea, where the inequality symbol is. Let's draw our line. Now, on this one, we want to get x by itself, but on the right side, you should see it says minus 15. So we want to get rid of the inverse operation. Both sides. Left side, -8 plus 15 will give us a +7. Let's bring everything else down. Bring our greater than or equal to. Bring our x. And -15 plus 15 is 0. Just goes out. So you may be tempted to graph this because you're saying, well, we're done. We have the constant, which is +7. We have the inequality symbol, which is greater than or equal to. And we have the variable x ready to graph. But you have to be very careful on this. Right, and I think you may have seen it, I believe, on the practice activity for this assignment. But let's just do what we did before on that assignment. Let's just go up a little. So on question number 4, if you look here again, what do you see? Where's the variable? It's on the left side. If we look at number 5, this time where's the variable? It's on the right side of our inequality. So what we want to do is to just simply rewrite this inequality so that our symbol is still in the middle, our variable is on the left side, and our constant is on the right. So how that works is the places. So 7, our constant, will come to the right. X, our variable, comes to the left. But since they switch places, we can't leave the symbol the same because then the inequality would not be true. So now when we flip the places of the variable and our constant, we also have to flip our inequality symbol. So instead of greater than or equal to, it's now going to say less than or equal to. So now our inequality reads x is less than or equal to 7, which is choice B. And then we have to graph it. So let's get our number line. Again, you don't have to put all the numbers. Take your solution, which is number 7, put it in the middle. Give me one number greater, so after 7 is 8. Give me one number smaller, before 7 is 6. Then we need our circle, also on our solution. Is it open or is it closed? Let's look at our symbol. If we look here, we see it says or equal to. So that means a closed circle, as we see right here. Anytime it has the line, this one or this one has to be closed. So closed circle, and less than means numbers smaller than 7, which are numbers to the left of 7. So now we have solved and graphed. Okay, 2 questions left, and we're done with this one. So number 6 and number 7. So question 6, let's put 7 over here. 6 and 7 are word problems. They're not that bad. Again, just read it and go piece by piece. Number 6. For each babysitting job she does, Natalia charges $8 for each hour, X, that she works, plus $5 for bus fare. She wants to earn at least $29 for her next babysitting job. What is the minimum number of hours she must work? Okay, so again, read it piece by piece. First, it says Natalia charges $8 for each hour, X. So it's actually telling us, okay, 8 and then X, so 8X. Then it says plus, so we put plus, addition, $5 for bus fare, so plus 5. She wants to earn at least $29. At least means this number or more, this number or higher. So greater than or equal to 29. Now that we have our inequality set up, now we can solve it. So where the inequality symbol is, greater than or equal to, just draw the line. Next, we want to isolate or get x all by itself on the left side. To do that, we have to get rid of the constant that's next to it, that positive 5. And the inverse or opposite of positive 5 is negative 5. So subtract 5 on both sides. We haven't used the 8x yet. That's okay, just bring it down. 8x. 5 minus 5 is 0. Don't put 0, just cancel it out. Bring down your inequality symbol, greater than or equal to. And 29 minus 5 is 24. Last step, what operation are we looking at now? Now we see multiplication. It says 8x, which means 8 times x. Since we're looking at multiplication, we undo it by once again performing inverse or opposite operation, which is to divide. We divide by the coefficient. Remember, coefficient is just the number in front of our variable, in this case 8. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. Don't put 1, just cancel it. Bring down our variable x. Bring down our greater than or equal to symbol. And 24 divided by 8 gives us 3. So our inequality here reads x is greater than or equal to 3. So to answer the question, what is the minimum number of hours she must work? Natalia must work for at least 3 hours, which means 3 or more, in order to earn the $29. Finally, number 7 says the most that Wendy can spend on bread and turkey for her picnic is $28. She already bought a loaf of bread for $3 and will buy turkey that costs $5 per pound. How many pounds of turkey can she buy? So again, let's reread it piece by piece. It says the most that she can spend is $28. This means she cannot spend more than $28. She can spend up to $28 or less. So like 25, 26, even decimals, $24.30. She can spend anywhere up to a maximum of $28. So I'm just going to put that, since that's the total, and just leave space, put that at the end. So something less than or equal to 28. Let's keep reading. It says she's already bought a loaf of bread for $3. Okay, so we have 3. And that means plus. And we'll buy turkey that costs $5 per pound. So 5. But we don't know how many pounds. Since the question is asking us how many pounds of turkey can she buy, we don't know yet. So since we don't know, we're going to put a variable to represent that unknown amount. Since it's pounds, I'll just put P for pounds. Again, you can feel free to use whatever variable you like. Now that our inequality is set up, it's time to solve. So where our inequality symbol is, where it says less than or equal to, we draw the line, separating our terms on the left side from terms on the right side. We want to get the variable p by itself, but next to it we see the constant, which is positive 3. So we perform inverse or opposite operation, and we subtract 3 from both sides. 3 minus itself is 0. You can just cancel that. 5p we haven't used yet. We can bring that down. Our symbol, we bring it down, less than or equal to 28 minus 3 is 25. And now what operation are we looking at? We're looking at multiplication. It says 5p, which means 5 times p. Again, whatever operation we see, we undo it by doing the opposite. So the opposite of multiplying is division. That's the inverse operation. Divide both sides by 5 because that's the coefficient or the number in front of our variable p that we want to get rid of. 5 divided by itself is 1, so we cancel that out. Bring down our variable p and our symbol less than or equal to, and 25 divided by 5 will give us 5. So how many pounds of turkey can Wendy buy? She can buy 5 or less pounds. So P is less than or equal to 5. Make sure you reach out if you have any questions, and make sure you practice, check your notes, and also catch you on the next one.